It's Saturday afternoon. We had a nice rainy morning. Hopefully things will clear up a little bit before we go out this afternoon. I have a lovely book festival to go to. It's called the Boozy Book Festival, and it's over at one of our favorite little places to have drinks at, Leanderthal Distilling. It's a really, really cute little place, and they have really fun drinks, and I like to support our local businesses, and what better way than to combine my two favorite things, having a drink out with the physicist and also reading books, everything nice. The gal that's running it is from Next Chapter Books and Bookmobile, and she does gently used secondhand books. I'm actually going to bring her some books from myself and two of my critique partners that we've published to add to her collection. So it should be a really fun afternoon. But the week was long. I had a lot on my mind. I had trouble sleeping. I tend to get insomnia very easily. I have a very active imagination. And when things are not 100% right in my world, or I feel sad about something, it tends to keep me up at night. And I've had little to no sleep for about 3 nights now, maybe even longer. So Thursday night was rough. Thursday night, I probably got about 4.5 hours of sleep. And I got up in the morning and I was really, really tired, and I just didn't know what to do. I was ruminating over the situation. I was struggling to stay awake. I was sad about the same situation and the things that I had learned. And I really was just not in a good place. And so the physicist said, look, you should just go to the gym. That way you're winning and the other situation isn't. And I'm like, you're right. Even if I just do 30 minutes. Originally, I canceled, but I rescheduled with a girlfriend to meet there and do some workout with her before she worked out with her personal trainer. And then another friend of mine was there around the same time. So I ended up going and I worked out. I did elliptical and stationary recumbent bike for like almost an hour. I had a wonderful conversation with both of my friends, got to see the physicist when he came in, and it was just a really good decision to make. And then I decided, I'm just going to go ahead and treat myself to a sauna. I rarely do the sauna. And I went inside the sauna and it was lovely. But what was more lovely about it was a young lady, a young mom came in, and she had 2 little children that she told me about, 2 and 4 years old. She was super, super friendly, super nice. And she was excited because she felt like she was feeling good about herself again. And she was talking about how she'd worn for the first time just this little crop top and little, workout shorts. And she looked adorable. She was really cute. She was, I don't even know how old she was, probably, if I'm lucky, 30. But she was very, very sweet and very talkative. And we got to talking about body image and awareness and things like that. And I said, look, I think it's great that you wore what you wore out on the gym floor. You should wear something that makes you feel happy. I said, I started wearing bikinis again in my 60s. I hadn't worn a bikini in years, like I'm talking since my 30s probably. And so I said, I just decided this is the body I have now, and it's in okay shape for a 63-year-old. So I'm going to go ahead and start wearing a bikini. It's easier to get in and out of them when you have to go to the restroom. They look nice on you, and they're more comfortable for when you're laying around in the sun or walking around in the pool. I just really like them. So I have 2 pairs now, and I really like them. I told her a little bit about my weight loss journey over the last, I think it's been like 8 months now since August. So August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, 7 months working on 8 months. It'll be 8 months in the middle of April. So that's pretty good. 20 pounds in 8 months. That's a normal weight loss. The GL1 Zepbound really did work. I explained to her how it made me just lose weight like I used to lose weight when I was back in my 30s and 40s. And then I said, but it didn't start there. It actually started right around the time I turned 60. Not the weight loss, but the acceptance of where I was physically at that time. And the reason that happened was I was taking a lot of fitness classes at another gym, and I was taking yoga, and I was taking Zumba, and I was working out on the gym floor. And at the yoga class, at the end of every yoga class, our yoga instructor would do a mantra or a saying or a special inspirational piece of work that she would read from to us before we, left for the day. Like we'd be laying down in our corpse pose and just, soaking in the resting and the end of the workout. I think at the time I weighed around 180 pounds or so. So I wasn't at my best weight-wise, but I was really taking good care of my body. And the piece that she read was about how you have to let something die, some aspect, something go, and after you bury that, so how you let something go that's not working for you anymore, and that you bury that something, that whatever it is, and then out of that, renewal and growth will happen. And I was laying there and I was thinking about it, and I thought, here I am, I'm 60 years old, and I have spent the last 40 years of my life, call it 30, from the time I was 30, trying to get back to the person I was 10 years earlier by dieting and exercising and trying to do all the right things, trying to get my body back to where it was in my 30s, when I was in my 40s, trying to get my body back to where it was when I was in my 50s, down to when I was in my 40s, and then 50s down, just the whole thing. And I said to myself, that's crazy. I've literally spent half my life trying to get back to the person I was 10 years ago. And that's just not healthy. And a lot of that is society. A lot of that is, as you get older, it's harder to lose weight and you feel like you're becoming minimized every decade, like especially once you hit your 50s. And you want to feel good about yourself. And so you're struggling harder and harder and harder to lose the weight that you gained that could have been just through natural, that's what you gain every so many years. And I was like, I can't do that to myself anymore. I don't want to go back to where I was in my 50s. So I made a pledge. I buried that day. And I made a pledge to love myself where I was and to become the person I needed to become moving forward into my 60s and beyond. And it liberated me. It made me feel better about myself. It made me feel better about what I was doing. It made me feel less worried about losing the weight. It made me feel better about going to the gym and wearing my workout clothes regardless of my size. And I really started to feel more confident about how I looked and really started taking even better care of myself. So over the course of the next 2 years, I added more workouts, I changed gyms, I added a personal trainer, I did the personal transformation, I bought clothes that flattered me, I cut my hair. I cut my hair before I lost the weight. I started wearing belts around my waist because I wanted to accentuate my waist. That was actually the physicist's idea. He goes, you still have an hourglass figure, you should show it off. And I thought to myself, why shouldn't I show it off? So even before I lost the 20 pounds, I was already dressing better, more confidently, not trying to hide the little belly I had or my hips. I was working with what I had. And it was the beginning, really truly was the beginning of a new journey for me at 60 years old. And so I said to the young woman, she was so sweet, I said, please don't wait until you're 60 to come to that realization. Come to it now. Because if you come to it now, you're going to love yourself so much more for that. And she said to me, I really needed to hear this today. So out of what was a pretty tough week for me emotionally, I'll be honest, and a pretty tough week for me for sleeping, and the resistance to wanting to go to the gym because I felt just so tired and worn out and just exhausted from the situation and exhausted from how much I wanted to fix it and I knew I couldn't. And how I had to let something else go. And it really hurt. And out of that, the physicist's encouragement to go to the gym, to have a nice workout, I was able to talk to a friend about how I was feeling and get it off my chest. And I was able to get confirmation and affirmation from my friend. And then later, I was able to tell a young woman, hey, don't wait until you're 60 to come to this conclusion. Be the woman that you are now and move forward. So I then said to her, I guess I was supposed to come to the gym all along just so I could meet you in the sauna. There's a reason for everything, I feel. And sometimes you don't always see it right away. But also out of that conversation, out of my memory of that moment, I realized I too had to let something else go. I had to let the situation go. I had to let the desire to try to fix it go, dig a little hole, pop it in there, cover it up, because I have something new I want to grow out of that. I have new relationships and new situations that I want to build on. And I can't do that if I'm looking back. I used to have a saying, aim high, look forward. And that's how I got through the writing days that were not great. That's how I got through the rejections. And every once in a while, you forget what you've been telling yourself to be the person that you want to become and how to get there. And I needed that memory. I needed that reminder for myself too. So moving forward, I'm going to work on the situations that I have control over and let this other situation go because it's not helping me to move forward. And in addition to that, I'm going to go ahead and continue doing what I'm doing, taking as good of care of my body as I can. And as my friend told me, sometimes the hardest thing of going to the gym is actually getting to the gym. It's once you're there, you're ready to play. You're ready to work out. You're ready to do your thing. It may not be the best workout you had, but you're there. So you've made the drive. You've already got rid of one hurdle, which is getting there. And once you're there, you might see someone you know. You might actually have made a workout date with someone you know, and that makes it a lot easier. Or you'll run into someone that you know, or you'll meet someone new like I did, someone younger, and you're reminded again why you're here, why you're taking care of yourself. And not every interaction has to be a lifetime interaction. It could just be a moment in a sauna with a young mom telling her what I told myself 3 years ago, to love myself where I was, to accept myself where I was, and to move forward and to aim high. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and that as you move forward in your journey in life, wherever you are, whether you're 20, 40, 60, 80, that you're still treating yourself with kindness and respect, and that you're loving yourself where you are and accepting yourself where you are, and that you're ready to move forward and aim high. If you like this little video, please give me a thumbs up. Ching ching. If you want to subscribe to my channel, I'd really like that. You can just click the subscribe button. I'm trying to build a little fun community where we can be honest and positive with each other and help each other and support each other through various different ways. This was just more of a personal situation for me that I felt I wanted to share, just enough of it to let you know that even during the hardest times, and even during times when you don't have control over every event, you can still find pockets of love and pockets of happiness. And it's in looking for those things that you get through the days that are darker.